Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 1 and today we're going to review the first unit we had in this semester, which is the unit of Is There a View? And if you remember, in our unit we talked about, or the theme of our unit was to describe the places, different places, whether if you want to describe our houses, describe our rooms, and use a lot of adjectives to describe the place where we live. And also we have listened to multiple different descriptions about different places. So let's now try to review back part by part all the lesson we had in this unit. Our first lesson was about the grammar rule. And you remember that when we talk about the grammar rule in the unit of Is There a View, we talked about there is and there are. And we said that we use there is if we want to talk about a singular person, and we use there are if we want to talk about plural, or if we want to talk about more than one person. For example, this is a tree. And if you want to indicate this tree or point to this tree, we would say, there is a tree. We would say, there is a tree. Also now, as you can see, if we have a group of trees, we would use, there are trees. There are trees. So if we want to indicate or point to one thing only, we would use, there is. There is a tree. And if we want to indicate more than one thing, like as we can see here, a group of trees, here we would say there are trees, or there are trees. Also, if we want to make question, whether if it's singular or plural, if we want to make question about singular objects like this one, a tree, we would use is in the beginning, or the auxiliary verb. So here we would say, is there a tree? Is there a tree? And this is, as we have learned, that it is a yes or no question. So we either say yes, there is, or no, there isn't. No, there isn't. Also, if we want to make question about a group of trees, here we would use are in the beginning. So instead of saying there are trees and now we want to make question, we would say are there trees? Are there trees? And the answer as well will be either we say yes, there are, or no, there aren't. So as simple as that. If we want to indicate, if we want to point to one object, we would say there is. There is a table, there is a chair, there is a tree. And if we want to indicate or point to more than one thing or more than one object, we would use there are. For example, there are tables, there are chairs, and there are trees. Also, if we want to make question, if we want to make sure that if something available or not. Here, if we want to ask for one thing, we would say, is there a table? Is there a chair? And also, is there a tree? And if you want to ask about more than one object, different objects, for example, we would use are in the beginning. Are there chairs or are there tables? So these were, or this was the grammar rule we had in Is There a Few? Also, the other part of this grammar rule was the prepositions. And we said that we have different prepositions of places. Here, for example, if you look at the first picture, the first preposition we have learned is in. For example, you can see this ball, the red ball, and here is the box. If the ball is in the box, we would say in the box. The ball in the box. And if here is the ball, okay, and here is the box, we would say the ball is behind the box. The ball is behind the box. So as you can see, it is behind. And here the other one, here we can see the box, and here we can see the red ball. Here we can say in front of the box. In front of the box. So here we have three important prepositions. The first one is in, the ball is in the box. The second one is behind, the ball is behind the box. Like I am standing right now and the screen is behind me. Also in front. So here the ball is in front of the box. Also me, I am in front of the screen. So these are the prepositions we have learned in unit Is There a View? Also another two prepositions. The first one is on the box, where you can see the ball is on the top of this box. Here we would say on the box. Also the opposite, the other one, here we can say, we can see the box is on the ball, and when we want to talk about the ball, we would say the ball is under the box. So on the box, under the box, on, under. So these also the prepositions that we can add to the previous three prepositions we have learned. So this was the grammar rule we had to talk about prepositions, different prepositions of place. For example, if we want to look for objects in our rooms or in our houses. Also, we have learned about how to indicate, how to point to things. If it's singular, there is. If it's plural, more than one object, we would say there are. And also we have talked about in page 50, we talked about describing our places, describing our rooms. For example, if you remember, I gave you this picture and I told you what furniture is in the room. So you can have a look at this picture and tell me what kind of furniture we can see here. So for example, we can see that there is a bed. Also, there is chair. Here we can see chair. Also, these are lamps. Also, this is a closet. There is a closet here. There are lamps here. There is bed here. Also, there is chair. Also, there are curtains we can see here. And there is a drawer. And there are pillows. And there are toys. So a lot of things we can see and point at in this picture. And also, not only this, but also we have listened to a conversation between two friends, John and Tom, and each one of them is describing his favorite room. So if you remember, we have listened to Tom talking about his house, and he said that my home or my house is not big, and there are only 2 bedrooms. One for my parents and one for my brother and me. And he said that his favorite room was the bedroom. Why? Because he said, it has my computer. And about John, he said, my favorite room is the living room. So, as like yourself, those 2 friends, each one of them has his own favorite room. The room that he liked to spend time with. So, as for John, he said that my favorite room is the living room, and Tom, he said, my favorite room is the bedroom. And also in the same page on 52, you remember that I asked you a question, and I said that try to talk about your preferences, the things that you like. So we have listened to John talking about his favorite room. We have listened to Tom also talking about his favorite room. And what about you? You can tell us what your favorite room is. You can say, for example, my favorite room is my bedroom. Because there is a computer, there are chairs, there are toys. You can mention as many reasons as you like. Also, you can say, what does your room have? You can say, what does it have? You can say, it has a computer, it has a rocking chair, it has a closet or a closet, or it has different video games. So you can also say, why do you like that room in particular? And also, on page 53, we have talked about unusual houses. Unusual houses that are not similar or not the same as we used to. And we have given an example of this house. What is unusual about this house? So here you can see this is a river, and this is a street, and here is a boat, and on the boat it seems that there is a house. So, and we said, what do we call it if we have a house and we have a boat? What do we call this place? We call it houseboat. We call it a houseboat. And also, we have talked about the houseboats, and we say that in Netherlands there are more or over than 10,000 houseboats. And why are there too many houseboats in Netherlands? We said that because Amsterdam, the capital of Netherlands, is very crowded, and there are not enough houses for everyone. So this is why people decide to have or to live on houseboats. And also we said that people who live on houseboats are either artists or young people who like to live on the houseboats. Also, another kind of unusual houses we have read about in this unit was this house. And we said, what is unusual about this house? As you can see, it's made out of frogs maybe, and it's not inside a regular neighborhood. So it seems like a cave. And we said that if we have a cave and we have a house, what do we call this place? We call it a cave house. A cave house. And also, we have read a text about a cave house. We said that there are many cave homes in southern Spain, and we said that it is made by people and not natural formation. So it's actually made by people who made such houses, and it's not naturally built like this. Also, we said that it has a very regular temperature. It is very hot in summer and cold in winter, and the temperature in the cave are about 19 to 20 degrees Celsius all year round. And also it has good facilities like electricity and running water, and also it is dry and comfortable. So these houses are also usually very quiet. So you might not think that these are unusual even if you want to live in. It's vice versa actually. It is comfortable. People like to live in such houses. So here also we have read about this text, and also we have answered a couple of questions about those houses. And also, if you remember that, I gave you on page 53 a discussion question. And I said that, are there any unusual houses in your town or country, and what are they like? And if you remember that, I gave you a very famous example of unusual houses we have here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Do you remember what that house was? Very good. It was Mada'in Saleh. Those places, or this house was, or we can call it, unusual house that we have here in Saudi Arabia. Also, on page 54, we have a writing exercise where I ask you to do this interesting one. I said that complete this chart with notes that describe your home. What the things are in each room, and what words describe the rooms, and what is your favorite room and why. So too many questions actually to answer in this chart. And also I gave you an example. So in the beginning you can see here what type of room I would like you to talk about. So here I said kitchen, living room, bedroom or bedrooms maybe, bathroom or other, if you have any other rooms that you want to talk about. And here is the description to talk about or to describe those rooms. Just tell us what does each room have? What kind of furniture does it have? What kind of maybe clothing? What kind of equipments that room does it have? So I gave you also pictures just to help you try to write the description of each room. For example, we have, I have given you this picture and I said, just have a look. This is a kitchen and have a look at this kitchen. What can you see in this kitchen? Is it old kitchen or a modern kitchen? So here we can see that there is a furniture, an up-to-date furniture, refrigerator, and this is a dining table, and these are chairs, and here we can see the oven, and here we can see the sink. So all of this kitchen is modern, and it seems that it is comfortable. It has nice decoration. Also, this picture, this is a picture of a living room. And I said that just have a look at this picture and try to mention what are the things in this room. So for example, in the living room, there is a sofa, and there is a painting, and there is a clock, and there is a high definition TV, and also there is a coffee table and lamps. And it seems, and there is also an air conditioner. It seems that's a nice living room. Also, this bedroom. Here we can see this is a bed, this is a drawer, and this is a closet, and this is a fan. This is also a nice and comfortable bedroom. Also, this is a bathroom. Here we can see a bathtub, we can see a sink, and it seems that it's a very new bathroom and it's a very modern. So you can have all of the information that we just mentioned and put them in this chart. For example, about the kitchen, we can say that it is big, it is modern, and it has a dining table. Also, about the living room, we can say the living room, it has a nice sofa and a huge high definition TV. And also about the bedroom, we can say my house has 3 bedrooms with nice beds and computers. Also, with the bathroom, we can say it has a shower and a bathtub. So you can write as many descriptions. If you remember, we can write as many descriptions as we would like to describe our home or our house. And also, if you want to talk about a different room that is not mentioned here, you can talk about the garage, you can talk about the garden or the yard of your house. As we have written here, we have also a beautiful garden with many flowers. Also in the writing section, we have talked about the coordinating conjunctions, which we mean the words that connects ideas together. Like for example here, we can use and to connect words and ideas that are similar. And we use commas if we want to use a list. For example, the kitchen is big and modern. The kitchen is big and modern. So here we have similar ideas, big and modern, and we use and to connect them together. But if we have more than 2 things, if you want to make a sort of like a list, here in this particular case, we would use commas. We would say there is a closet, a bed, and a desk in my room. There is a closet, a bed, and a desk in my room. So here we have mentioned more than 2 things. Also, number 2, we use but to connect opposite ideas. So ideas that are not similar together. For example, we put a comma before but when there is a subject. Let's read that example here. We said that my room is small but comfortable. My room is small but comfortable. So here, small and comfortable are contrasting ideas, ideas that are not similar. So this is why here in this case we use but. And if we want to use a subject in this sentence, in this case we would use but. For example, my room isn't very big, but it is comfortable. My room isn't very big, but it is, here it refers to my room, it is comfortable. Also, the place, if we want to talk about the place, here in this case we would use in. For example, there are pretty flowers in the garden. in the garden. And also we can reverse it. We can say, in the garden there are pretty flowers. And here we can see detailed examples of using and. As we said, if we have two similar ideas, we would use and. The kitchen is big and modern. Two similar ideas. Also, we should use commas for a list. There is a closet, comma, a bed, comma, and a desk in my room. Also with but, if we want to connect two opposite ideas, like for example, the room is small but comfortable. And if you want, we should put a comma before but when there is subject. My room, this is the subject, isn't very big, but it is comfortable. Also, the last one, we should use the n with the place, goes at the end or the beginning. So we have the freedom either to put the place in the beginning or at the end. For example, we can say, there are pretty flowers in the garden. Here we put the place at the end. Also, we can put it in the beginning. We say, in the garden, there are pretty flowers. So this is most likely what we had on the first unit, is there a few. And also we have talked about the description. We said that read the text, circle the adjectives that describe the home or the things that in it. We have elicit some descriptions, like for example, or some adjectives: modern, big, comfortable, large, pretty, and great. So these are the adjectives that we have used or elicit from the text. And we said also we can use these adjectives to different places. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.